Hello everyone, and welcome to the Blue Cube channel. Today, continuing our Adobe Animate tutorials from beginner to advanced, you'll learn how to place and animate a sword or any other object in a character's hand. If you remember, in this same course, in lessons 25, 26, and 27, we designed this character together. So now, you know how to design a character, rig it with bones, and animate it. When we apply a rig, all the different layers merge into one single layer. Before I add the sword to the character, let's look at something. If I select a bone with the selection tool and raise the character's arm, the hand that was in front will go behind the head as it moves up. This means if we add a sword to the hand, the sword will also end up behind the head. To fix this issue, I'll select the arm and zoom in for a better view. Then, with the free transform tool, I select the character's arm. I press Ctrl and the up arrow on the keyboard, and this brings the arm to the front of the head. I do the same for the forearm. After selecting the forearm, I press Ctrl and the up arrow on the keyboard to bring it to the front. I repeat this for the hand as well. Essentially, you can move different parts of the body forward or backward to ensure the correct display order. I'll bring the character's arm down for now because I want to add the sword. I'll also bring the other hand down. Using free transform, I'll move the hand slightly to the right to bring it forward and adjust its position. So, remember, you can select and adjust different parts even after rigging. Now, I double-click on the hand to enter its symbol. Since we converted all the layers to a symbol for rigging, clicking on the hand now takes me into symbol 20, which corresponds to that hand. In this mode, the rest of the scene, except the hand, fades slightly. I'll zoom in a bit to make it clearer. Now, the hand needs to be in a fist shape to show that it's holding the sword. Therefore, I'll select the free transform tool and create a new keyframe. Now we have two states and two keyframes. I'll place the slider on frame 1 and add a new layer. My plan is for the hand to be in its natural state in the first keyframe and for the sword to appear in the character's hand in the second keyframe. This way, we can add or remove the sword from the character whenever we need to. To do this, I'll drag the sword image from my computer and drop it onto the stage. Be careful not to add the sword in the first frame. First, place the slider on the second frame and then import the sword. While holding the Shift key, I'll make the sword smaller to make it fit exactly into the character's hand. It's okay if it's a little bigger. I'll place it in the right spot and zoom in again for a more precise adjustment. Now, its size is appropriate. To show that the hand is holding the sword in frame 2, we need to make some changes to the hand. First, I'll lock the sword layer so it can't be selected anymore, and I can work on the hand easily. With the free transform tool, I'll select the hand and zoom in more. I'll select and delete the character's nails because the hand is going to be a fist, and the nails won't be visible. Now, I select the subselection tool and click on the outline of the hand. This will display all the anchor points, and I can make the necessary changes to create a fist shape. I'll delete a few extra points and move the others to close the hand. With the Alt key, I'll adjust the curve of the lines to create a more natural shape. Then, I'll give a name to the sword layer and move it below the hand so it's under it. This makes it easier to see and adjust the changes to the hand. I'll select the hand again and, using the subselection tool, I'll move the points around to make the grip on the sword look more natural. This really makes the hand look like a fist. If you make these changes once, you can save it and use it in all your projects. It might seem a bit difficult at first, but with practice, the result will be more natural. Finally, by moving the points, I'll create a shape that looks right. I'll zoom out a bit to see the character. Now the character's hand has two states. In the first frame, the hand is empty, and in the second, the sword appears. The hand is also closed in this state, holding the sword. Let's go back to the main scene. At first, we don't see the sword. But if we create a few frames, you'll see the sword appears and then disappears again. To control this, I'll place the slider on frame 1 and select the hand with the Free Transform tool. Notice that for the hand symbol, which is a graphic type, I'll select the single frame option in the looping section. This allows us to specify exactly which frame should be displayed. When we're on frame 1, I'll click on the frame picker. I'll click on the image with the sword to make the sword appear on the stage. Now, when the hand is selected, the sword moves with it. You can also switch between the empty hand state and the hand with sword state at any time during the animation. Now, I'll create a movement for the character. In frame 10, I'll add another keyframe. In this state, the character is in a normal position. In frame 20, I'll place a new keyframe and select the sword. With Free Transform, I'll rotate it slightly. Then, in the next frames, I'll select the sword again and rotate it a few more times. This creates the rotation effect for the sword. Essentially, I want the character to twirl the sword in their hand. When I play it, the character is holding the sword and rotating it. Now I can move the character's hand higher in the subsequent frames so the sword is above their head. For instance, in frame 55 or 56, I'll place a keyframe and bring the hand down. These changes make the movement look more natural. To make the character stop for a bit and then move again, I'll hold the Alt key to copy this keyframe and place it further down the timeline. In this state, there is no change, and the hand just moves up and down. I'll create another keyframe and adjust the movements. I'll delete the rest of the keyframes that I don't need. Finally, I'll take a copy of the last keyframe with Alt to prevent any unwanted changes. If I play it with the loop option enabled, you'll see the animation repeats continuously. The character might have a small extra shake. If you don't want this movement, you can delete the keyframe and replace it with a regular frame. In that case, only the movements you defined will be shown. I'll do it again for you to see. Finally, be sure to practice this technique several times to master it. If this tutorial was useful to you, please like the video and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to do so. Until the next video, goodbye for now.